Good afternoon and welcome to Patriot Tough Talk. I'm your host, Mike. Today I want to start by I want to talk about the events that are going on today. One of the viewers said to me I need to go down the rabbit hole, and I want to talk about the rabbit hole today. I want to talk about how hard it is for me to grasp everything that everybody's saying. And if you listen to people who are on YouTube and people who are online, and some folks have kind of gotten away from this narrative of, Trump and the military and Biden's not in charge. Um, and I'm having a hard time grasping the magnitude that some of these people are putting out there. And I'll just throw some things out there. I mean, they're saying it's a war between good and evil. That the cabal is, and has been, heavily involved in our government and our society. And I believe in a shadow government. I do believe that there are people behind the scenes, people with money, who invest in people in order to have those people owe them. Problem I'm having is that some of these folks now are going so far off the rails. I mean, do I believe in human trafficking? Yes. I mean, it's an actual situation. Um, it's an evil in our society. Do I believe that they're having these secret occult meetings and burning people and sacrificing children, and that's just so far fetched. It's so far fetched that I don't even know if I can if I can join the thought behind it, and they're tracking, they track stuff back to the Nazis. To me, it looks like there's a lot of behavior that's similar to what happened in Germany in the late 30s when the Third Reich took over. But do I believe that it's the Nazi party that was escaped and that they're trying to create a Fourth Reich? That stuff is just so, I can't wrap my head around everything that everybody's saying. Epstein Island was a travesty if there's any truth to what was going on there. But yet there's been no proof. And I'm a firm believer in having faith and following your gut instinct, and I'm just having a real hard time with some of the stuff that they talk about. I mean, they're even bringing in alien UFO lizard people. I mean, I just don't know if I can go that far. I definitely don't like what the current administration is doing. I think we have a huge issue with human trafficking. The decisions to open the border, and I mean, these are so anti-productive to what I believe being an American is, and trying to take our guns and and they're not trying to take our guns. They're trying to make it harder to get guns for law-abiding citizens, under the ruse of, we're going to stop bad guys from getting guns. But the fact is that bad guys don't follow rules. So they're not going to go the go into the store, fill out the form route. They're going to go about how they've been getting guns through back channels. And so, no, I'm not totally behind this administration, but there's so many of these stories out there as far as right now the military is trying to decide how to take back the government. You would think, and this just might be a little bit of the doubter in me, that you would think that if there was this massive war being waged, that at some point something would have happened. Somebody would be arrested. Now, there have been arrests. There's been a lot of arrests recently for election fraud. There's been a lot of arrests lately for human trafficking. So those things are happening, but not to the magnitude of we're in this God versus the devil war that I mean, I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ, but I just don't know if I can believe in everything that's being said without some form of verification. And a lot of these guys who I've watched and I respect, as a viewer, are talking about the day is coming, the day is coming. But the day, I mean, the inauguration was in January 20th. We might not be happy with the selection or how the election went or any of the process. I'm not thrilled that they're trying to pass HR 1, which is going to federalize the voting. I think that should stay as a state-driven action based on the Constitution. I can't believe that we've been this ignorant for this long. If any of these items are true, I can't believe we've been this ignorant for this long. And look, I myself feel as I had been ignorant for years because I didn't pay attention. It didn't affect me directly, so I didn't care. Now, a lot of the decisions that are being made now could affect me directly, and I'm paying much more attention. I did pay attention to the election because of the way I voted and the way that I believed that the election should have gone, and the way it went wasn't what I wasn't what I wanted. So of course in the beginning I listened to a lot of people, and I did follow the statistics, and I have my beliefs on how that election wasn't quite fair. And the thing that bothered me the most about the election was they said, well, there's cheating, but not enough to overturn the election. Well, see, that's not acceptable. If there's cheating, then the election itself is null and void because there should be no cheating. Not an acceptable margin of cheating. There should be no cheating. But reptilian people, that's way too far for me, man. And the viewer said go down the rabbit hole. I can't go down that rabbit hole that far. I can't go down the rabbit hole. I'm actually losing belief that there's going to be any type of justice for the election, or any proof of justification that there's anything going on, because it just keeps dragging. And I know for a lot of people that's the same feeling. People that were originally looking at, well, the election wasn't right and it didn't go the way I wanted it, and it does appear there was some you know, issues. But now it's so far, the people online are so far out of the scope of reality for me that it's hard to even listen to anybody anymore. My my belief system and my internal values and just my ability to comprehend anything larger than what I've already comprehended is gone. So I don't I don't know exactly if anything is going to happen. I've heard that by April 1st we'll all have a different opinion of what's going on around the world, and that some truths will be told, and that people will be new people will be in office, and people who currently there will be arrested and charged for treason and other things. And I do believe in God, and I do believe in the devil. You can't have one without the other. But to make this a holy war is really hard to fathom. It's very hard to fathom, and it's gone that route with a lot of these online news people, influencers. It's gone so far off the rails that it's not even believable. So my video today was going to be about the border and the issues there, but I just had to I had to I had to say something about how I was feeling about the whole game. Yeah, if any of this stuff is true, I mean, if Lynn Wood is 1/10 correct about the people that we've had in office and the people who have had the stage for all these years, if 1/10 of what he says is true, I mean, there should be people put in prison. There should be people put away for life, because they're not what I would consider a member of society, at least society as I would like it to be. So I don't know about how people out there feel, but for me it's just getting too far-fetched, without any action, without any proof. Do I still have confidence that if there was a election tampering, that somehow it will come out, and that somehow there'll be some form of correction to what's gone on? Yeah, I believe that, and I know they've tried to make their case, and I know nobody's really listened. I don't know how the courts can say no standing on anything. I was always under the impression the courts had to listen to the cases. They couldn't just brush them off the way they have. But I can't man, some of these people are really diving so deep that I think they're losing their own sense of reality. And I could be way wrong. I've been wrong before. But it's hard for me to fathom the fact that lizard people live in Antarctica, or that the world's being ran by a cabal that sacrifices children. I would think, and I could be completely wrong, but I would think that if there was such heinous behavior going on, that at some point prior to this, in my 55 years of life, that someone would have done something about this. So today's episode's a little late because St. Patty's Day was yesterday. And happy belated St. Patty's Day to all the folks out there that enjoy celebrating it. And I will have an episode tomorrow. And today I just wanted to vent about, where people stand. I like I said, I have a pretty vivid imagination, and I've been open to just about everything. But some of the stories now are they're getting wild. And they're to a point where I just can't believe any of it. And there's always a little truth in everything. But at this point, it's the show me state. It's someone's going to have to actually show me that this stuff is actually happening. Because if it's not, then those people should not be spreading that information. And everybody says they have documentation and they have facts, and then show me. At no point that I've watched all these shows has anybody actually put something up on the screen that says X. And X leads to Y. Other than them telling me that that's what they found. So I could sit here and tell you I've been to Mars. It doesn't necessarily mean I have. And I don't think they're intentionally lying or misleading unless they are. But I think we're at this point now where it's time for someone to show us, and that people who have been following the saga, it's time for us to know. And I don't think I've been patient this long in this whole time. And I'll be patient through April 1st because a gentleman named 107 has said by April 1st there should be changes. Well, we're at March 18th. That gives it 12 days. So 12 days from now, I will have a show. And that's a fact. And we will see what has happened, if anything, has occurred. Half of me hopes it does, and half of me hopes this is fake, because I don't know if I can wrap my head around all of these things if they are actually true. I would be very disillusioned as to how our society has allowed this to happen for so long. I mean, I'm disillusioned about human trafficking. I'm disillusioned about current policies. My constitutional rights are being tested. I need to see a lizard man, if there is such a thing. I need to see evidence of what Linwood is saying. I need to see action if the military is technically going to take control of the United States because our election wasn't correct. But for me, it's put up or shut up. I'm giving it till April 1st, and then I don't know what I'm going to do as far as I think it's time then for me as an individual, and hopefully you as individuals, to go out there, and if we want change, we have to make that change. And I spoke about in an earlier episode, I spoke about if there's people in office that you don't want there anymore, you have to campaign against them. You have to make it so that they can't be in office for 47 years. And we have to fight for our rights. And the reality is we may have to do that anyway because I don't believe there's any knight on a white horse showing up to save us from the evil. Now, I hope somebody starts something, because I do believe that things are going awry. Well, just some things to think about for today. And I will see you again tomorrow because I got to keep going on my Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. Today is a makeup for St. Patty's Day, and want to say peace out to everyone.